I'm used to constant attacks and slander from Karen from the HOA, but this morning when I approached my house, I found a changed electronic interface of my smart lock. It did not respond to my commands. On the screen, error 1401. Owner is not authorized. Karen came out from around the corner with a tablet.
Sealed,
She said.
your system did not pass the check.
On her tablet is my access program. She used it to block me. But let's rewind a little. I am a cybersecurity specialist. At the request of the local HOA, I modernized the digital architecture of the district. The new system ensured transparency, excluded monopolistic control, and removed management from the influence of a single person. This was precisely what caused the conflict with Karen, the aggressive and authoritarian chairwoman of the HOA. Before the system was implemented, decisions were made in a narrow circle, reports were falsified, and budgets were distributed among their own. My system allowed residents to see for the first time where their contributions were going. For Karen, this was a direct threat. First came fines, complaints, and slander. Then came an investigation into the threat to digital security. I didn't pay any attention to it. But in the morning when I returned home, I could not access the door. My smart lock indicated error 1401. It was Karen. She changed the data of my smart home system. I had to stay in a motel. I immediately realized that her nephew, registered as a technical consultant, was behind this. I trained him myself. He replaced my administrator rights, posing as the main one. But they missed one element. Deep in the core, there was an emergency protocol hidden. It did not allow direct intervention, but maintained control in critical situations. The activity logs confirmed everything. I was removed from the admins, a fictitious vote was held on exclusion, and commands were sent to reset security, IP from Karen's house. Signatures, her nephew's. Part of the infrastructure was related to the federal digitalization program, and interfering with it meant a criminal offense. I activated emergency diagnostics. The system began to malfunction. Cameras rotated chaotically. Locks malfunctioned. Residents began to receive messages about vulnerabilities. And an alarming banner appeared on the control center screens. The integrity of the architecture has been violated. Karen was losing control. In a panic, she called an emergency meeting.
This is sabotage. He threatens us all.
She shouted into the loudspeaker. I arrived last. In my hands, a tablet, log files, and a copy of the contract with the federal district. I turned on the video, Karen in the server room, turning off the equipment with a crowbar, then footage confirming the command to reset the system. You claim that you were acting in the interests of the district, I said, but now everyone can see who you are really harming.
This is not valid. The system belongs to the HOA.
She screamed. According to paragraph 4.3 of the agreement, the architecture belongs to the developer and is protected by federal law. Your actions are an abuse of power and damage to the infrastructure, I answered. The hall froze. Neighbor Thomas stood up and proposed a vote to remove Karen and her nephew. The decision was unanimous. A week later, Karen was removed from her position. The bailiff handed her an order to leave the HOA territory within 30 days. For the first time in a long time, the area came under the control of those for whom digital transparency is not a threat, but the norm.